Hey, welcome. Have you ever peeked into a preschool and wondered how it all works? I mean, it can look like a whole lot of joyful chaos, right? But believe it or not, behind all that play, there's actually a really thoughtful plan. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the blueprints that guide early childhood education. And let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of everything. Seriously, think about it. You've got your whole day planned out, but after a big rainstorm, the kids are just completely captivated by a giant puddle on the playground. So what do? Do you try to get them back on track? Or do you lean into the puddle? This one simple question shows you exactly what makes this world so special and so tricky. How on earth do you plan for the amazing, unpredictable curiosity of a child? Well, the answer is something called a curriculum model. Now, think of these models as different kinds of blueprints or maybe guiding philosophies. They're not these rigid step-by-step lesson plans. Nope, they're frameworks that help teachers create a classroom where kids can really explore and discover and just thrive, even if that means the whole morning is now all about that puddle. So what is a curriculum model, really? At its core, it's the philosophy. It's the why behind everything that happens in the classroom. It's not a script telling a teacher, okay, at 9:05 you do this. Instead, it's a set of beliefs that shapes how teachers see children, how they set up the room, and how they interact with kids to help learning happen naturally. And here's the cool part. There's not just one blueprint. There are a ton of different, really influential models, and each one has its own unique take on how kids learn best. So let's take a quick tour of some of the heavy hitters and see just how different they can be. First up, you've probably heard of this one, Montessori. A really central idea here is that a child's play is actually their work. And that's not a bad thing. It means it's serious, it's important stuff. The teacher's job is to be a guide, to carefully prepare the classroom environment with these special materials that actually let kids correct their own mistakes. The whole point is to build deep concentration and real independence. Okay, now let's go to the Waldorf approach. This has a totally different vibe. It's all about imagination, creativity, and learning through your senses, with this deep, deep connection to nature. A Waldorf classroom feels, well, it feels like a sanctuary. It's designed to protect a child's sense of wonder. You'll see lots of natural materials, wood, silk, wool, and a huge focus on imaginative, free-flowing play. Then there's the Reggio Emilia approach, which comes out of Italy. This philosophy starts with this really powerful image of the child as someone who is already strong, competent, and full of amazing ideas. I love this part. They say the classroom environment itself is the third teacher, designed to spark curiosity at every turn. Learning isn't a one-way street. It's a journey you take together, and kids are encouraged to show what they know through what they call the 100 languages: drawing, sculpting, dancing, building, you name it. And finally, we have the high scope model, which gives the day a very clear and empowering structure. It's famous for its plan, do, review sequence. It's as simple as it sounds. Kids start their day by making a plan for what they want to do. Then they go do it. And afterward, they gather back together to talk about or review what happened. This simple little cycle is huge because it teaches kids to be intentional and to think about their own learning process. Okay, this table really helps it all click into place, right? Just look at that teacher's role column. In Montessori, the teacher is a guide, but in Reggio Emilia, they're a co-learner, like a researcher working right alongside the kids. In High Scope, they're a facilitator, helping that plan, do, review cycle happen. And in another model called Bank Street, they're an interactionist, really focused on the whole child. You can just see how each one of these philosophies would create a totally different feel in the classroom. All right, so we've got these big high-level ideas, but how do you actually make them work? Especially the ones like Reggio Emilia that are all about following a child's lead. How do you take a fleeting interest and turn it into a real curriculum? And here's the absolute key. The best curriculum isn't something you can just buy in a box. It's alive. It's a dynamic process that's co-created by everyone involved. The source material gives a perfect example of this. You could have one class that spends weeks studying a duck nest they found in the park. At the same time, another class in the same school gets totally obsessed with their classroom's pet tree trog. Both are amazing, rich learning experiences, and both were born out of real, genuine curiosity. So how do teachers manage all that amazing, spontaneous curiosity and turn it into something with structure? Well, they have this brilliant tool called webbing. It's basically a bridge that connects the kids' sudden passion to real, concrete learning. Webbing is pretty much a mind map, but for curriculum planning. You put the child's interest right in the middle, so the puddle, the duck nest, or maybe some snails they found in the garden. And from that one central point, you start branching out. creating this web of ideas that connects that single topic to all kinds of learning. Just look at this slide. This shows you exactly how it works. The central topic is snails in the garden. From there, look at how it explodes outward. This green branch, that's science. We could study their habitats, their life cycles. This yellow branch over here is art. Let's draw the snails or maybe make them out of clay. The blue one is math. We could count how many we find or even measure their slime trails. And the red branch is language. We can read books about snails and write our own story together. All of a sudden, that one little interest has become this huge, rich, interconnected learning experience. And this isn't just something a teacher does by themselves. Webbing is all about collaboration. Sure, one teacher might start the web, but then the whole teaching team can jump in and add ideas. And even better, you bring the kids into the conversation and ask them what they want to find out. And in the absolute best case scenario, you get families involved, sharing what they know too. It becomes a community project. So why go through all this effort? Why not just use a pre-written plan? Well, it's because this kind of responsive child-led planning has a massive impact on how kids see themselves and how they feel about learning. This quote from Carlina Rinaldi, a famous Reggio Emilia educator, just says it all. The goal isn't just to teach a lesson. It's to create a possibility for kids to go deeper into their own research, to follow their own questions, to be the true drivers of their own education. And when you do that, the benefits are just enormous. Kids develop a sense of agency. They see that their ideas matter. Their engagement just goes through the roof because they're working on something they actually care about. And that, in turn, builds their confidence, their self-esteem, and makes learning feel deeply, personally meaningful. So, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Great early childhood curriculum is not a rigid script you follow. It is a responsive, living, breathing conversation with children. It's about listening to them, valuing their ideas, and helping them build knowledge from the sparks of their very own curiosity. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? This approach obviously works wonders for kids. It builds this incredible foundation for a lifetime of learning, but it makes you wonder, in our own lives, in our own work, how much better could we all learn if we just gave ourselves permission to follow our own curiosity?